Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom08, and this is episode 66 of my series in which I will try to collect a billion iron ingots. In today's episode, I am going to be looking to maximize my iron output as of right now. I am not quite maximizing my iron output, and that's because of the way I have certain things processed. But before we take a dive into what we need to change, let's go over here and look in this new building that I've built. And I actually had the base floor of this built last episode, I believe. But I have built 4 new turbines, and I've adjusted the 2 turbines that I already had in there. Now, before, these turbines were exactly the same as the turbines in my other buildings. But I have decided to change their dimensions a little bit to get a little more power out of them. And as we see, instead of having 3 rows of coils, we actually have 4 now. And instead of either 56 or 64 rotor blades, we now have 80. So essentially, we can get maximum power out of these guys by pumping in 2,000 millibuckets per tick. And that's what we're doing here. And these 2 turbines are actually just slightly different from the other ones that I have above. But these 2 turbines each make about 27,780 RF per tick. And the difference is that these 2 turbines only have, what's 8 times 4? 32 minus 1. So these 2 turbines only have 31 ludicrite in them. And you can see that the corner up here is missing on both of them. And I did that because I wasn't sure which setup would actually work better, whether 32 or 31 would work better. So I tried both, and these ones up here actually make 28,000 RF per tick using the same amount of steam. So it looks like in the future I may go ahead and add that missing ludicrite block. But yeah, these turbines are nice. They each give me 28,000 RF per tick, and it seems like they're all running like they should, which is great. Also, in the meantime, I added 2 more tier 6 void ore miners in my bottom basement, and that's just to get a little bit more stuff. And we have more stuff, and now I have decided that I want to make things just a little bit more efficient in terms of getting iron, and that means that we need to adjust how we process certain things. And to look at exactly what we need to change, let's look up pulverized iron real fast. And that is because there are many ways of making pulverized iron, mainly by pulverizing iron ore, but you can also get it as a secondary output by pulverizing tin ore and aluminum ore. So we're going to grab some tin ore, maybe, and some aluminum ore. There we go. And then we're also going to be looking at upping our cinnabar and rich slag. How much we get. You get cinnabar as a secondary output of gold ore through a pulverizer. And right now we're pulverizing gold ore, but we are going to pulverize it in a different line. Okay, where are you appearing? I'm just going to roll over here. Let's see if I can't find some gold ore. You know what I can do is I can just do that, and then I should be able to find some gold ore. There we go. So let's stop the aluminum and tin. 10 aluminum. Cool. And we're doing that because these pulverizers right here are optimized for speed. They are not optimized to give us more secondary outputs. And so what we're going to do is we're going to build some more pulverizers, but we're going to build them up here. And we are going to optimize them not for speed, but for the secondary output. And that's because we want more iron. And so let's grab some pulverizers. Let's grab some conversion kits. Let's grab some augments. And we need the auxiliary sieve. And we want 4 of them per pulverizer. So right now we'll grab that many. And then we need a bunch of item ducts as well. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and tell this system to make a bunch more of that. And let's grab some regular item ducts and some retrievers as well. We're also going to need some buses. We're going to need at least one of these guys and at least one of these guys. We're going to need 7 of these. And 1 capacity card. And then we're going to need some modular storage here. So let's grab 2 of these and 2 of these as well. Now this setup's going to be really similar to what we have downstairs, but there might be a few differences here and there. Let's start setting this up. First, let's set up our modular storage, and I think I have it right here. So let's put it in the same spot over here. Put in one of these tier 1s, and then I think this one will be in the same spot. Yes, it will be. And then this one also gets a tier 1. Nope. We need to go ahead and set up our buses here. And our import bus will be over here, and it will have 4 acceleration cards. And this will be our export bus, and it will have a capacity card as well as 3 acceleration cards. And we need that capacity card because we have more than one thing here. Oh, that's nifty. Now it's just acting weird. So let's throw those in there. We can throw the items in here now that the bus is set up. Now we need to grab some covered cable. And I have plenty of that. And we are just going to run it up. And I think I have it just across the room like so. And then we can just run this across up here to this. And so those should be connected. And we should start seeing our tin and gold and aluminum start appearing over here. Now we need to set up how the items are going to flow through our system. And I think what we're going to do is kind of wrap this around like we have done below. And let's see here. I guess I need this corner taken out as well. Me and my hairbrain right there. And and then we're going to need to lay some flux duct or some item duct under here. And okay, this will be the, I'm gonna need some stone and some covers. I know I'm gonna need a lot of covers, so let's tell this to make a bunch. And the bottom, I think we can have the output, so I actually don't need this one to be like that. I need it to be over here. And it just makes things just a little bit easier to deal with if I have the output on bottom and the input on top. So I think we're going to, I think I'm going to have power on both the top and bottom, because I think that'll give us the best power delivery. I don't think it'll be a problem since we're not speeding these pulverizers up like we are the ones in the basement or in the ones in the floor, 2 floors below. And that's because the speed upgrades take more power, whereas these upgrades I do not. They actually do, but I don't think they take nearly as much. So the output's on the bottom, the input's on the top. So let's grab some. I'm going to need some more of this item duct. Do we have it? We do. Cool. And then this actually does need to be connected to this one. And actually, in this corner, I wanted to place the regular item duct, or the regular impulse item duct, I should say. Like so and like so, as to kind of segregate the energy systems away from each other. And then we can just run this around. And what I mean by segregate the energy systems is in this line over here is one energy system, and then the rest of the room is kind of one energy system. And technically it's actually 4 because there's 2 over here and 2 over there. So that's cool. That should all be set up right. And then we need the output to the bottom and the input to the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay a bunch of pulverizers around the room. I am going to upgrade them. I am going to stick in 4 auxiliary sieves, and I am going to input in the top and output to the bottom. And I'm going to do that all off camera because that's going to take a little while, and I'm going to be right back after all that is done. And here we are. All of these guys are configured correctly. And if we go over here and look at this, this is kind of amazing to me. This thing is already full, and this bus has only been set up for like 10 or 15 minutes max, and it's full of stuff. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. So the next thing we need to do to make this system actually work is we need to put some retrievers up here, and we need to set them to be on. Now, I'm actually kind of worried that I'm going to need to add more pulverizers, but that won't actually be a big deal. I can just kind of use the same system that I've used down here to add more pulverizers. And that's because these pulverizers are going to be running quite a bit slower than the pulverizers upstairs. So, I mean, we'll see exactly how good or bad we're doing. I'm not sure that we'll actually get to the point where we will see this episode, because I'm guessing that there is a backlog in my system as well. Yeah, that's crazy. 2,500? Let's see, do we have 500 gold ore? That's crazy. Okay, so I am going to set all these retrievers up, and they just need to be on all the time. And I can do that off camera real fast, so I'm going to be right back after I have all of these guys set up. Now that all of my pulverizers are set up and running, let's take a look over here at our outputs chest. And if we notice, we're getting a decent amount of iron, which is 100% the goal of this setup. I'm not sure how much iron this will actually net me, but it will definitely net me a whole lot more than I have been getting from the secondary outputs here. So that is cool. And I need to keep an eye on my aluminum, my gold, and my tin. But it kind of looks like I am going to have to add some more pulverizers. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that like right now, because even if I don't need it right now, it looks like I'm really close to break even. And if I start getting even more stuff, which I probably will in the near future, as I've been setting up void ore miners relatively frequently recently. So I'm going to go ahead and set up, let's say, 3 more lines of pulverizers real fast. And I can do that off camera because they're set up the same as I have the ones around the room. And I'm going to be back after I have all of those set up. Now I have even more pulverizers up here. I need to figure out how I'm going to power them, and I've actually already done that. But what I've decided to do is up here I have the first one in each line powered from this circuit up here on the top side, on either side, and you can see the signalum plated impulse item duct followed by the impulse item duct. And that's because I'm kind of, once again, kind of separating the power circuits. And underneath here we have a kind of the opposite. We have an impulse item duct to separate this system from this system, and we're going to be powering these guys straight from the cryostabilized flux duct right here. And that's just to make sure that they all have enough power. And what we're going to do real fast is these don't need to be connected, and boom. So the last step, I guess, in this process is I kind of need to beautify it a little bit. I guess I don't need to, but I'd like to. Hopefully we're processing enough stuff to get through our backlog. Let's just take a quick check. We only have 50 aluminum ore. Let's see how much gold we have. 2,010 ore we have. Okay, so it kind of looks like we are keeping pace right now, which is good because there's a lot of machines here, and I'm really hoping that this will increase our iron yield a decent amount, and I think it will. And in addition to getting us more iron directly, this also gives us more cinnabar. And you can see cinnabar pop in here once in a great while. And that is also used in the processing of iron, which is why I have gold being processed in the system as well. So what I'm going to do real fast is I'm going to beautify all this crap by placing covers up here. And I'm going to go around the room and I'm going to cover all of these item ducts. And then I'm going to be back and yeah. So I'm going to be right back here in a few minutes. And here we are with a completed system, and it is running smoothly. It looks like our backlog is pretty much depleted, with the exception of this right here. But I mean, the backlog in my applied energistic system is pretty much depleted, which is great. And so actually, I've said I've added some tier 6 void ore miners, but I haven't actually shown them. So let's take a trip down here, and we have 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and the last 2 right here to make 10. And I have them all hooked up with the cryostabilized flux duct and directly with the items being imported into the system with import buses on top of modular storage. They're all set up like this. A few of them do have accuracy modifiers instead of all speed modifiers, but I believe all of them have the white laser lenses, and that is to get maybe a little bit more iron, and that's cool. I guess there's another thing I need to show, and that is over here in my numismatic dynamos. I'm using diamonds in 2 levels. And I have discovered that my diamonds are going down. It's fine for right now, but I definitely need to keep an eye on the system because I don't want to starve it, because then the rest of my energy system may suffer and I won't get as much stuff. And I like stuff. That's kind of the whole point of this world. So in the next few episodes, I need to do something with this building, since I had been using it for the crystal stuff that I had set up, and that wasn't even very many episodes ago, but I decided to get rid of that because of server lag issues. I believe the radiation and, I don't know, the crystal tanks themselves were causing a little bit of server lag, and I really don't want that if I can avoid it, so I kind of just tore it out and replaced it with that stuff over there, the numismatic dynamos. But I think in the next few episodes I'm going to dive back into industrial craft for a jiffy and do something we haven't really done yet. I guess it's kind of a twist on something we have done. But for right now, I think this is the wrapping up point. In today's episode, I built another processing system for aluminum ore, tin ore, and gold ore, and that is, the purpose of this was to maximize my iron, because with aluminum and tin you get pulverized iron as a secondary output, and with gold you get cinnabar as a secondary output. So I wanted to maximize all of those secondary outputs, and that's what this system was built to do, and it should do it very nicely. So I'm happy about that. As of right now, I have 125 million iron ingots, which is really cool. And it's kind of awesome just to look at how much iron I'm actually getting. Like, I get 100 iron almost in a second or two. It's actually really cool just to watch. It's kind of mesmerizing. Anyways, I'm definitely kind of proud of that. And for right now, this is Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.